I don't know why it always takes me by surprise when we go live, but we're live. Happy Wednesday, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to the weekly episode of Mr. Cashflow Live. I look forward every week to doing these episodes. These broadcasts are designed to help you increase your business or practice's cash flow and introduce you to some great people that I know, that you should know, and subject matters that could be of help to you. The recorded version of this live stream after we're all done today will be on my YouTube channel at Cashflow Strategies, Inc. If you'd like to be notified when we go live, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel and click the notification bell. And every week when we go live, you'll be notified and you'll find out who it is that we're talking to, and we'd love to have you join us. Feel free to ask questions as we go along. We'll try and answer them live on this broadcast. If we don't get to answer them live and you put them in to the recorded version, then we will get back to you by email. I am thrilled that my guest today is Perry Olenych, co-founder and CEO of All Merchant Funding. Perry and I have known each other for a number of years and have worked together in helping my clients get funding for their business, especially when a bank loan isn't possible or advisable. And so I've asked Perry to join me today on this episode of Mr. Cashflow Live to discuss merchant funding for businesses, how it works. When is it the best method of getting an infusion of cash flow into your business? Because it's all about cash flow. So Perry, welcome to Mr. Cashflow Live. Glad you could join us.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for having me today. I appreciate it.
So let's just jump right in because I think we've got a few things to cover. If I'm a small and medium-sized business owner or a doctor or a dentist, why should I consider using merchant funding rather than just going to my bank and getting a loan or using a credit card for that matter?
Yeah, sure. It's a great question. So, the direct answer to that is if you can go to your bank and get financing and wait 30, 60, maybe 90 days to get that financing, you should. We're not here for the 10% of people that can go to the bank. We're here for the 90% of people that can't, that need a quick infusion of capital. And, all of our clients recognize that. Check the bank out first. I advise it. You might have a relationship with the bank, but if you get turned down, maybe they say you're over leveraged, or maybe you do get financing from the bank, but you need additional financing behind it to continue to grow or get that new piece of equipment, or whatever the case may be, that's where we can step in and really provide some benefits and some cash flow for your business.
So how do you determine what's the best way to fund a business?
You got to ask some questions. You got to figure out, what's the best fit for each business, right? So each situation is different. Some of our clients, the staffing and manufacturing and some of the distribution clients, some of the issues that they face with cash flow is really just extended AR. Some of their AR is out past 30, 60, 90 days. So in that situation, I would probably recommend, more of an invoice factoring product and go into detail about that and how we can go out longer on our terms and get increased, dollar amounts and invoice factoring lines for them versus a quick, just a bridge loan. But listening to the client and figuring out what their goals are, what their plans are for the future of how they want to grow, the business. And then additionally, what the challenges that they're currently facing are, that leads us to, pushing them towards one product or the other.
It's funny because I always heard the only way you can get a bank loan is if you don't really need one.
It's true. It seems to be true. I can't speak for all of the banks, but I hear that from a lot of our clients that the best time to get a loan is when you don't need one from the bank.
And it's never quick, right?
And it's never quick. It takes time. Paperwork is very slow at the bank, and that's one of the things that we pride ourselves on is being quick and streamlined. So, that's how we differentiate ourselves there.
So this would be good for a seasonal type business too, where they just have ebbs and flows, and sometimes they just need a little bit of extra cash to make payroll or to buy equipment or whatever. They know it's going to come. They're just not sure, it's going to come this month.
Yeah, absolutely. If you have a business that knows it's going to come, but is pretty consistent with their revenue, and they want to pay it back fairly quickly, and it's just a quick bridge. A lot of times I would just recommend just a line of credit. where they can take the advantage of drawing down on the line of credit, paying it back quickly, and only paying on interest on the money that you need it. Sure, it might be a little bit more, but you might only need it for 30 days. Why are you going to take out a loan that has, potentially some fees up front, whether it's for the bank or anywhere else, when you really only need to draw down on that money for 30 days? So just really have to listen to the clients and see what's the best fit for them and what's their long-term plan for their business.
So do you have to have perfect credit for this to work for you?
No, not at all. It's a great question. So our average FICO score for our borrowers is right around 600. We can go as low as 500, sometimes even lower when we're taking a look at businesses, based more on their revenue, on their monthly gross deposits. So yeah, we can be extremely flexible. Of course, having good credit never hurts, but we realize that this is alternative lending, and that's the space that we're in. And obviously there might be some credit challenging files that we would love to take a look at.
So even credit challenged people don't have to just give up. There are options out there for them.
There are plenty of options, and we would love to take a look at the file and see what we can do to connect the dots and help get them the financing that they need.
So merchant funding, is that the same as merchant cash advance, or is it something different?
Originally when we started, when we founded this company 8 years ago, it was primarily just merchant cash advances, right? But since then, we've diversified, obviously kept the same branding, but we do more than just merchant cash advances. We do lines of credit, loans, equipment finance, invoice factoring, some SBA loans, which are through the bank. So in full disclosure, they do take, a couple of weeks. But so we have a whole gambit of different products, to really facilitate the best possible financing solution for our clients.
Because, with my business, it's all about cash flow for people. And all of my clients, that's what we work on, is their cash flow. And this has been a great idea for a number of them. And I've seen it help people that just needed that extra little bit of help over a bad time and that sort of thing. If you have any questions for Perry as we go along, please feel free to just type them into the question box. We'll try and address those as we go along. If you're watching the recorded version of Mr. Cashflow Live, please feel free to ask questions as well. We'll get back to you as soon as we can by email. If it's something I can't answer, and probably is something I can't answer, I'll forward it on to Perry and he can respond to you. So Perry, what kind of rates are we talking about? What kind of terms are we talking about? Are there all different kinds of them?
Yeah, sure. So it really depends. It depends on the product. For the SBA loans, I can tell you right now that it's going to be prime plus 2.75% if you're approved. And then, some of those higher interest rate merchant cash advance loans, they could be, high 20s, 30s. It depends. That's where credit comes into play, where we take a look at negative days. If you have 5 or so negative days a month, that might be a little bit more high risk for us. We look at time in business. We also look at, the business, profile and their credit score, making sure that they're paying vendors and stuff on that side. So anywhere in that range, it's kind of hard to, pinpoint one, because each product is different. If you're looking for an equipment finance product, a lot of times our rates are in the high single digits, and that's because it's secured with the piece of equipment. Versus, invoice factoring and lines of credit are pretty similar, where you're at, 1% per month on the outstanding invoice or balance that's drawn down. But if you pay it back, quickly, then, it might be a better product. So it just depends.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Just in case somebody isn't aware, define a negative day.
That's when their bank account is less than zero.
So there's the lesson for you. Don't overdraw your bank account.
Don't. The underwriters like to see, just a little professional tip, they like to see at least average daily balances of around about $1,000. So if you have that in there, then everything should be good. But when you dip below zero,
especially if there's multiple times in a month.
Exactly. Or in a day.
We've been through that together before. Not with my business.
No.
But with some potential clients, we've been through that before. So You say getting approved for a bank loan can take 30 days, 60 days. How long does it take to get approved for what you do?
Yeah, so pretty quick, pretty streamlined, pretty easy. All for our lines of credit and quick working capital loans. You're talking about 24 hours. We just need the
Wow.
previous 3 months of bank statements, a completed application, and we can turn around an offer pretty quickly. Same for the equipment finance as well. The only difference is we just need the invoice for the equipment. And then even our factoring lines, sometimes we're turning around, letters of intent for factoring lines for, 48, 72 hours, if given that we have the proper documentation.
Sure.
So very quickly, way quicker than a bank or traditional
And
financing solution.
and for those that hate to fill out paperwork, how long is your application?
It's one page.
That's one page and it's simple.
It's one
Yeah,
page.
I was pleased about that when I talk to people that just absolutely hate filling out forms and stuff. You kind of touched on the documents that need to be provided. That's pretty simple as well. There's some flexibility with that as well, I'm sure. But got to get a good picture of the bank account, got to get a good picture of the business in order to make a decision. So how do you know if let's say I'm looking at my business and I need an infusion of cash, how would I be able to know how much I qualify for?
Yeah, great question. So typically, as a good rule of thumb, we're going to qualify businesses for 1 to 1.5 times their monthly gross volume. So that's why I always tell people to ballpark somewhere in there, see if we're in the same ballpark. If they're doing $10,000 a month and they want a $100,000 loan, well, we're probably not going to be the best fit. But if it's somewhere closer to 15, maybe stretch it to 20, we can get a little creative. We like thinking outside of the box and we like doing creative solutions. So we can get there, but that's just kind of a rule of thumb. So
It's hard to believe. Is it really that simple?
It is. It is that easy. That's what we're here for. We're here to differentiate ourselves from the banks and traditional financing solutions, and to be here for clients that are ready to take that jump and accelerate their business, take it to the next level.
So I'm going to say this to my clients that may be watching or tuning in on the YouTube channel. If you've got a financial crunch, and I've probably already mentioned this to you, but if you have a financial crunch, if you have a down month or two and you need some cash or else you're not going to make payroll, that kind of thing, please call me or contact Perry, and I'll put up his email address. Contact me or Perry, and let's see what can be done for you. Even if you can't go to the bank, you can't get a credit, don't put it on your credit card and pay 29% interest, for stuff like that, and ruin your credit because of it. Contact us. Let us get creative a little bit and see if we can find a way for you. Again, I'll mention, if you have any questions, please type them into the question box. We will try and answer them either live or on email. I'm going to ask you another question, Perry. I heard that you're involved in another venture that might be of interest to my viewers or my clients. What are you into now?
Yeah, well, we're
what have you gotten yourself into, Perry?
We're always into all merchant funding. I can tell you that. That's been true to us for 8 years now. But my partners and I have recently, over the past year and a half or so, developed a software that's pretty cool. So it's a free solution for business owners, and what it does is it allows you to pay your employees 24/7, 365 instantly to your bank account at their discretion. So it really, really helps with employee retention, recruitment, morale, and it's just an overall great benefit program for employers. Again, like I said, it is 100% free to the employer. The only cost is associated with the transactional cost, and yeah, it's a great solution, fully customizable. If you guys are interested in a demo or that product, we'd be more than happy to get that set up. So
that's fabulous. How does that differ from just straight direct deposit? I know I had some contractors working for me. When I paid them every week, it was through direct deposit, right through my bank.
Yeah. So direct deposits are done typically through the ACH network, and they take a couple days.
Yep.
Right? So this solution is done instantly through their debit card. So if you have a Visa or MasterCard logo on your debit card and it's issued by a bank, I'm pretty confident that we're going to be able to send that to you instantly. Typically, they want us to say it takes within 15 minutes, but that money will be deposited to you instantly. Now, when you're running on the ACH network, a lot of times, Saturdays, Sundays, holidays, you're not getting paid.
Yep.
This is 24/7, 365 all the time. And what it's really geared towards is, I heard you mention the payroll aspect of it. Everything payroll needs to stay the same. You need to still account for everything and do everything the same way. We're not here to change your payroll. What we're here to do is fix the gaps in between payroll. So if you're on a weekly or even a bi-weekly pay period, some of these employees, they have their own cash flow crunches. They have a flat tire and they need to get paid. All we're doing is providing the solution that allows them to access their earned wages instantly before pay period. So they've already earned them. They've already accrued them.
Wow.
It's already good. When it's and again, we can set all the features up, however
Sure.
the business wants it customized on the back end. There obviously needs to be a verification from the business or the manager or both, however they want it. But yeah, it really and truly is an employee benefit program.
So would that not be a great benefit if somebody has independent contractors working for them that are earning commissions? So rather than, I've been there and I had to wait 2 weeks to get my commissions. I make a sale today and I have to wait 2 weeks to get my commissions. And I know we always argued with the company and said, when we earn a commission, why don't you just pay us?
All right.
And why wait? Well, they just couldn't fathom doing that. That would work for something like that, wouldn't it? And then they could be paid immediately.
I'm glad you brought that up. So the solution has kind of two components. One is a time clock management solution that's geared more towards people clocking in and out or tagging their GPS, looking at their IP addresses when they're drawing down, and it really is more of a time clock management solution for the business. It's great. The developers have done an amazing job on it. However, if the business owner says, "Hey Perry, that's really great. I like what you've done, but I don't really want to change my process." We have this feature called Express Pay, which would work perfectly for your point for 1099s. So all you do is you go into the system, you hit your Express Pay tab, and it populates, and you enter, the employee's name, the employee's email, the employee's cell phone, and the amount that you want to pay. And the system, when you hit send, it instantly sends them a link and a text message notification where they click on it and they enter their debit card information and they get paid instantly.
Wow, that would be great.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about it.
I know a lot of people who could benefit from that. So if you've got a situation where you've got employees or 1099s and you want to pay them quickly, you want them to be able to, that's a great benefit. I mean, that's going to attract your better employees, your better 1099s as well, because they can get paid on a regular basis. And that's not something that you see all the time. Ain't technology wonderful?
Yeah, it is.
It's fabulous.
So in this scenario, we're pretty excited about it. So, any of these employers that are looking to kind of diversify themselves, and really help their employees and help their contractors, this is a solution. I and my partners feel that this is the beginning wave of the early wage access stuff. We're right at the forefront. We're glad to be at the forefront. And you'll see over the next, 5-10 years that this is going to be commonplace. And to stay ahead of your competition is essential in this economy. So,
absolutely, the times they are a changing.
They are.
And in cases like this, I think they're changing for the better. We're learning a whole lot of stuff. So let me ask you this question, just out of the blue, because it came to me. We've been through hell over the last year, with COVID and all of that. Have you seen any major changes in your business because of COVID?
It's a good question. It's a fair question. And I'll say yes. And I should have addressed this earlier. So anybody that can take advantage of the paycheck protection financing option from the government should. If they qualify for it, then they should take advantage of it. And they should use the money correctly to, by the government standards so that they can keep their people employed. So when that program initially came out, we helped the first round with it. We did a pretty good job. I think that everybody was a little bit kind of slow at first, and then once
Most
the gears started running, we really got the hang of it. So with that being said, a lot of our clients were able to benefit from that. Anytime that the government's offering free money, the loan space, it changes, right? Nobody wants to get free money and then pay interest on other money. So there was a I'd say 30 to maybe 45-day delay where our financing kind of dipped. And then again, it's kind of doing the same right now on the second round of the financing. But we've been here for 8 years. We know that a lot of people still need financing above just the PPP loans. So
Absolutely.
yes, people really do need financing still now more than ever. After that money is used correctly, they're going to look for, again, alternative financing solutions to, continue to sustain their business.
And Perry is there to make sure they get help.
We're there to help. Yep.
And I'm glad of it. Any last words, Perry? Any last thoughts?
That's it. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Look forward to speaking with everyone soon.
Fantastic. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
So join me next Wednesday. My guest is going to be Stephen Johnson, the Executive Vice President of Verity Incorporated. I've known Stephen since I found them when many of my clients were attempting to find an alternative to some of the healthcare funding companies that are out there, as well as be able to provide their patients a fully managed, guaranteed payment plan at a very low cost. If you are part of a medical or dental or orthodontic practice, please join me. This is going to be significant to your practice, I guarantee. Whoops, I didn't mean to put that up there. I meant to put that up there. If you'd like to contact me, please contact me at david.wiener@cashflowstrategies.us or go to my website, cashflowstrategies.us, and you'll find my phone number there. Please feel free to give me a call at any time. Until next week, as always, I am David Wiener, Mr. Cashflow from Cashflow Strategies Incorporated. After all, it's your money. Keep more of it.